But let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Right, so moving away from that and moving on to what I think is actually pretty much the biggest story of not of the day. Let's just say that. And it's going to be the final story today. And again, it comes from Geekosity, Mikey Sutton's Geekosity. Why do I say that? Geekosity's Mikey Sutton. Sorry. And according to him and his sources, Warner Brothers is considering making a solo Mera movie starring Amber Heard. So I know the minute you hear that, you've probably got a lot of people out there crying their eyes out. Well, not crying their eyes out, but getting really annoyed about this because, again, there's a lot of, the story, I've spoken about this a lot. There's a lot to talk about as far as Amber Heard's concerned. But again, I mentioned this yesterday's show, I believe, that Warner Brothers will find it very, very difficult to fire Amber Heard from Aquaman 2. And according to Mikey Sutton's sources, they're actually seeing this, the whole kind of online anger towards Amber Heard and the all the calls to have her fired, the online petition, which has now reached well over, I think it was 1.2 million when I last checked, so it's probably like 1.5 million now. But they're ignoring that. They're not paying any attention to all of that. And he said, this is in his article, and I quoted him. He said, an insider explained that they see it no differently than the boycott of Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel film, which proved to be ineffective as it brought in over $1 billion to Disney. They believe it's artificially inflated and most likely politically motivated. They don't base their decision on web chatter. So it actually makes sense that this is what they might do. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know whether they'll go through with this because I don't see a solo Mera movie making anywhere near $1 billion. I don't see it cracking 500 million. I don't see it cracking 300 million. I don't think people would see it. Mainly because I'm going to be completely honest here. Amber Heard's not a good enough actor to take that on. She's not a Brie Larson. And I know people have their issues with Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, but Brie Larson is a fantastic actor. Amber Heard doesn't have a movie in her repertoire like Room. And honestly, I don't think she ever will do. She's just not that type of actor. And I think Mera is not an interesting enough character to make a solo movie. I understand that there are probably executives and producers at Warner Brothers that think this is a good idea because they think it's more representation. But the problem is backing Amber Heard is you're backing the wrong horse as far as that movie is concerned. If you're gonna make a DC Comics kind of female-led movie, well, you already got Margot Robbie, who's you've done the Birds of Prey film, which again I say this every time. I actually really, really enjoyed. I thought Birds of Prey was actually really good fun, but I think that there's a movie in there with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn that you can make, which would be far, far better than Birds of Prey. But this is, I'm saying that there's room there, that there are other actors involved, there are other characters involved within the DCEU, within the DC kind of comics universe that are far more interesting than Mera, that are far more, just have so much more potential than a Mera solo movie. So according to Geekosity, this is being talked about. This is what they're thinking of doing. They're not going to do it. They're never going to do this. Never in a million years are they going to make a Mera solo movie because, as I said before, Mera is just not an interesting enough character as played by Amber Heard. If they were to cast someone else in the role, then maybe. But as far as Mera as it stands in the DCU being played by Amber Heard, no, I don't. I really don't. I don't think that they'll look at they'll look at the potential revenue they can make from the film. And they'll be like, no, it just doesn't make sense to make this. They'll probably end up what you could spend. Let's say you spend 200 million on it, all right, which is actually quite a lot, to be honest. So let's say 150, and then it ends up making 350 million at the box office. You're making a loss Because honestly, the max. I mean, the the problem is that there are lots of people. It's just both. It's not just well, as far as Amber Heard's concerned, it's not just one side or the other that really dislike her. It's both. And again, you can't say anything at the moment because like the whole that I know that the Sun won the case against Johnny Depp, but there are lots of court cases going on still involving both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But I think forget that, put that to one side, put all that stuff to one side, and look at Amber Heard's back catalogue. Look at the stuff she's done in the past. I think she's good in Aquaman 2. And I think she'll probably be very good in Aquaman 2 as well. I think she works alongside Jason Momoa. But that's the thing. She works in a movie. She's a side character. She's a side character that and she doesn't have, she's not she doesn't have the same, what's the word? Kind of, she's not like a Gal Gadot. She's not a Brie Larson. She's not one of those actors. At least as far as I'm concerned. And I'm pretty sure people at Warner Brothers know that as well. And I think Amber Heard knows where her character is. Like, I think she knows that Mera is very much someone that will turn up in movies, in bigger movies, will turn up in an Aquaman film, but will never actually have her own movie. She's not a Scarlet, it's not a Black Widow type character. Again, if they've written a fantastic script and it's wonderful and they're like, let's go with it, then fine. But I don't even think a fantastic script is really good enough. I think there's too much bad press around her as well. I think that again, there's too much bad press around Amber Heard. And I know that the source here said that they're thinking it's artificially inflated, this whole petition thing. That the fact of the matter is the petition is online. It's there. It's there for everyone to see. It's there for everyone to report on. It's all people seem to be reporting on. So it's just bad PR for everybody. And it will stick in people's minds. And I'm actually really fascinated to see what happens when Aquaman 2 comes out, whether there is a big boycott or not, or whether it does end up making $1 billion. Because honestly, I think I think it will end up making $1 billion. And I actually hope it does, because Aquaman 2 is not just an Amber Heard movie. It's far more than that. It's a James Wan film. Well, supposedly it hasn't been officially greenlit yet, but it's got James Wan in it, directing it. You've got Jason Momoa in it. You probably have Willem Dafoe in it as well. And then there's the whole cast. There's the rest of the cast. There's the crew. You've got Abdul Yahin Matter III, Abdul Yahya Mateen the second, sorry, and who's a brilliant actor, but I always struggle with his name. Again, I'm not good with names. So it's more than just Amber Heard, and I think people need to think about that when they think about Aquaman 2. But as far as a solo Mera movie is concerned, no, it's not going to happen. And on that bombshell, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you so much for watching.